Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. One of my subscribers asked me a while back to comment on the movie that was supposedly done on the life story of Bruce Lee, entitled The Birth of the Dragon, starring Philip Nigg. And after watching one of the trailers a couple months ago, I wasn't too sure about my potential review, but I watched the second trailer recently, and I actually saw the movie. I was turned off by the movie, to be honest, because it was not a correct portrayal of Bruce Lee's life. As a matter of fact, it portrayed Bruce Lee as a very arrogant and obnoxious and narcissistic type of individual. That was not Bruce Lee. Mind you, I came up in the 70s when he was still living, towards the latter part of his life, and then he died in 73, and I began martial arts a few years before that. Now, I've studied Bruce Lee all of my life. His writings, his philosophies on fighting, and even life, and that was not Bruce Lee. As a matter of fact, when you watch him in interviews, he came off as being arrogant, but he was a different type of arrogant, if you want to use that term, arrogant. He was not an arrogant individual from the standpoint of, I think I'm better than you. It was more or less this: I train on my craft, and if you dispute its legitimacy, let me show it to you. That was the type of arrogance that Bruce Lee had, and 99.9% of the time, he proved you to be wrong in your assertion of his particular art or his craft, or the fact that he studied many arts and he chiseled away the unessentials, and he came up with his system and his philosophy called Jeet Kune Do. But anyway, getting back to the movie The Birth of the Dragon, as I forestated, it was not a correct portrayal of Bruce Lee, and I hated it. But I will say this to the credit of the actor, Philip Nigg. He is a great actor. Very, very good Chinese actor. However, his portrayal of Bruce Lee was misrepresented. Now, I don't know if he knew Bruce Lee's life. He had to know it on some level to even be able to portray him in that type of film. However, if he knew the real Bruce Lee, maybe he would have turned the acting position down for that particular role. But jumping on another subject that's akin to the same subject, the fact that in the trailer, when you watch the trailer, it had a white actor starting out the movie, and Bruce Lee's character or image was more or less a backdrop. I didn't respect that at all, and I was not the only one. If you go on and Google it, and if you go on and watch the many YouTube comments on this same movie or film, you will find that many people were displeased with the fact that they had a white actor start out in the trailer. For what? That had absolutely nothing to do with Bruce Lee. If the movie's about Bruce Lee's life, then he should be the center of attention, because he's the icon, so to speak, and he's the star. So where does anyone, if it was a black man, a Latino man, or whoever, they shouldn't start the movie out and then Bruce Lee shows up later. Do you follow what I'm saying? So, to conclude my viewpoint as to the quality of the movie called Birth of the Dragon and the legitimacy of it as it related to Bruce Lee's life, as I said, it was misrepresented. And it should have been completely rethought out, and it should have been completely canned instead of in the can as it relates to movie terminology, because it was just a waste of time. But kudos to the actor Philip Nigg. I hope he continues a very successful movie career, and I wish that he would study Bruce Lee's life and to find out how Bruce Lee really was. And I hope it wasn't just about a paycheck, because Bruce Lee's legacy deserves better than that. This is Brother Teacher. What do you think?